Hello everybody, welcome back to Access Blockbusters, and welcome to a quick spoiler reaction of Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. Just like we did with Secret Invasion, we will be doing week-by-week episode spoiler reactions to Ahsoka, the newest Disney Plus series from Star Wars and Lucasfilm. I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. But before we get into Ahsoka itself, if you haven't subscribed to the Access Blockbusters YouTube channel, make sure to do so. Give this video a like. Let me know what you're thinking about Ahsoka, whether or not you liked the first two episodes, what you thought about Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson, the return of the Rebels crew. Let me know in the comments down below. And let's get into episodes 1 and 2 of Ahsoka. So it's no secret that Ahsoka is basically Rebels Season 5. And I'll give a little bit of context about how I felt about Rebels just to give you guys an idea of my mindset going into the show. To be quite honest, and I've mentioned this before on the YouTube channel, I'm not the biggest fan of Rebels. I know that a lot of people out there really do love Rebels. I grew up as a Clone Wars kid. Clone Wars to me is basically my favorite Star Wars anything. That is how I fell in love with Star Wars. That is, to this day, the show that gave me the definitive characters of Anakin Skywalker and even Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course it gave us Ahsoka Tano as well, while also giving us characters like Darth Maul and a fully fleshed light and Mandalore and all these amazing things, all these Jedi, Plo Koon, Kit Fisto. So Clone Wars to me is really Star Wars. That is what I gravitate to, especially in the animated realm. Rebels, I enjoyed certain episodes, but to be quite honest, I just never connected with the show. I don't know if it was the character of Ezra Bridger that I just never felt like he was a protagonist that I really wanted to root for or connect with. I don't necessarily think it was Dave Filoni. I think Dave Filoni did exactly what he wanted to with the character. I just, for whatever reason, didn't work for me. That's fine. But everything that they did with Ahsoka in that show, I loved. And so hearing that they were going to do an Ahsoka show, obviously seeing her in The Mandalorian and seeing her in the Book of Boba Fett, she was great in the very limited time that she had. I was very excited. Hearing that this was basically going to be Rebels Season 5, I was a little less excited because honestly, that's not my cup of tea. But also I understood that maybe a little bit of that kiddiness, that goofiness, that lightheartedness is not a bad thing, but sometimes Rebels, I think, took it a little too far into the goofy zone, and so I was hoping that making it live action would make it a little bit more grounded and, while still keeping the spirit of Rebels. And I will say, right off the bat, that this is Rebels Season 5, but it's missing a little bit of something so far, I think. Now, it's the first two episodes, so I'm not going to get too out of myself, but there are some things here and there that I'm noticing that I'm going to keep an eye on as we move forward into the future episodes. I think that Rosario Dawson does a good job playing a very stoic version of Ahsoka. The problem is for me, and this is very early, but Ahsoka, as I remember her, is a very quippy, snarky, kind of fun-loving version of the character that I remember from Clone Wars. Now, in Rebels, she wasn't entirely the same character because obviously she had grown up and she had seen Order 66 and seen Darth Vader and all that kind of stuff, but she was a little bit more, I don't know, she had that spirit of adventure still within her, I think. This version of Ahsoka in the live-action show feels just very, I don't know, kind of deadpan stoic. And I don't know if that's completely intentional because on the one hand, I can see an argument for saying there's some juxtaposition going on here because I think it's actually really cool if they did this, where you have Ahsoka and Anakin on the one hand, where Ahsoka was the one being headstrong, Ahsoka was the one always butting into Anakin's plans and getting them into trouble, and now it's flipped. Now that she's the master, she's having to deal with a headstrong apprentice. If they dive more into that, and hopefully they give us some flashbacks with Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, fingers crossed, because I've really liked what I've seen from Hayden Christensen in the new era of Star Wars, even just the voiceover he did in that one trailer of Ahsoka, I really liked. So I'm hoping. And if that's the way that they're going to do it, and that's why she's so deadpan, and she's dealing with the trauma of Order 66, and she's dealing with the trauma of Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, I get it. I just hope that they explain that going forward. I also think that, Chopper is Chopper. Chopper is crazy, and Chopper, we love Chopper for that. I think the character of Hera Syndulla is also a little bit muted, and I think Natasha Liu Bordizzo, is that how you pronounce her last name? I don't know, honestly. But I think that she did a great job as the character of Sabine Wren. Sabine is going to have a significant part to play in the show for sure. I also think she was a little bit more muted, but again, these characters are sort of dealing with heavier things, so I'm not going to say that, this is a fault of the show. I think that this is exactly what Dave Filoni is setting up. I'm hoping that they pay this off. One of the great things about these first two episodes is that it feels like it's setting up something significant, while episode 2, one might say it felt a little bit fillerish. I don't necessarily think so, because it's building towards this idea that the witch Morgan Elsbeth, I think, is building this hyperspace ring to go and find Thrawn, so that's why they stop at Corellia. I think that all makes sense. So it's not like those episodes of The Mandalorian where they just go randomly meet Jack Black, for example. And that, I just hated that. I hated all the filler on The Mandalorian, and I really hope Ahsoka is every single episode just being snappy, being so plot driven, being character driven, that every single moment feels intentional. Right now, it feels like it's a little slow, and not Andor slow, where you're kind of thinking about what they're talking about. It just kind of feels a little slow, but I think we're kind of getting there. We're getting the picture, right? We're seeing where Thrawn is going. We're seeing how they're going to find him, and then Ezra, and obviously all the Rebels crew. I'm sure we're going to see Zeb. We saw Zeb in Mandalorian Season 3, so all that's coming together. Overall, I think I'm a little disappointed in that I wish we got to explore Ahsoka's mental state, if that makes sense. I wish we got to explore where she's at, in her life, what she's thinking about, why she's acting the way that she's acting, what's going through her head, and I'm sure we're going to get more of that later on. Hayden Christensen is coming back in some capacity, and so I'm hoping we're going to delve back into some flashbacks and see just why she's, feeling the way that she is right now, why she's cutting herself off, why she decided to stop training Sabine. I'm sure all this is going to be explored in the next 6 episodes, but it's a good start. I'm excited. I love Ahsoka as a character, and so I'm just so excited because the character has so many layers, just being the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. There's so much to delve into, and I really like the first 2 episodes. Also, the music, by the way. Same guy who composed Clone Wars, same guy who composed Rebels. Amazing. Kevin Kiner, amazing. Love the music. So what did you guys think of the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you enjoying the show so far? Are you going to continue watching as we head through and hopefully see some Anakin Skywalker? Maybe, fingers crossed, but also just waiting to see the journey of Ahsoka Tano. Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to the Access Blockbusters YouTube channel, make sure to do so and give this video a like, and I will see you guys in the next one.